We've collected information about both sides of the issue and we'll share what our local representatives think about it. We go now to Noah Tor with more.
So we've talked about the history, procedures, how to stay safe, mental health, and communication. It's now time to dive into the future of gun legislation and school safety.
The shooting in Parkland, Florida seemed to be the tipping point for students across the country. Protests about changes in gun legislation sprung up in cities all over.
The people demand a law banning the sale of assault weapons. The people demand we prohibit the sale of high-capacity magazines. The people demand universal background checks. Stand for us or beware, the voters are coming.
Many lawmakers have responded to the student protesters by meeting some of their demands. In Florida, legislators have raised the minimum age to buy a rifle from 18 to 21. And in West Virginia, they have made it illegal to carry a firearm on a school campus. Businesses have also changed their policies around gun sales in response to the students. Dick's Sporting Goods has stopped selling all assault-style rifles, and YouTube has banned all videos showing viewers how to make and sell guns. Others say there are no need for these changes because the Second Amendment has guaranteed their right to own and operate a gun.
We shouldn't be banning guns for law-abiding citizens. We should be focusing on making sure that citizens who should not get guns in the first place don't get those guns.
But what about national legislators? How are they responding to the student protests and counter-protests? In the wake of Parkland, national legislators and the president made changes about how future Americans will go about buying firearms and their accessories. A spending bill was signed into law that included 4 measures centered around school safety. The first is allowing the Center for Disease Control easier access to investigate the causes of gun violence. The second is spending more than $1 billion in 10 years for various school safety initiatives. And the third is offering states more federal funding if they upload complete information to the National Instant Criminal Background Check System, or NICS. And the fourth is the president requested a ban on bump stocks, which allow guns to fire more bullets at a faster rate. Now, those are the changes that were made since the Parkland shooting, but what are national officials saying about the issue? Republicans have started to stray away from the tune of anti-gun control and are starting to support measures in favor of what they call common sense gun control. Here's Texas Senator John Cornyn on the recent Senate bill commenting on common sense gun legislation.
In the past, we've acquiesced to failure and have not done things that we know were within our power to accomplish, like the Fix NICS bill. So I would just like to recommend to you and to colleagues here that we get that done and we build on it. We don't stop there, we build on it, and because none of us want to look these families in the face in the wake of another mass shooting and say we failed to do everything within our power to stop it.
And as some Republicans are starting to change their stance, Democrats are standing strong in their belief that all assault-style weapons need to be banned. Beto O'Rourke is the Democratic nominee to run against Ted Cruz in the fall. Here's his statement on the assault-style weapons.
I just don't think we should be selling AR-15s in this country. That weapon was designed for one purpose and one purpose only, to kill people as effectively and efficiently as possible.
Now, we know how the national politicians stand, but what about our local representatives? We had the chance to sit down with Democratic candidate for District 31, Representative Dr. Christine Mann, to ask what her perspective is on gun legislation.
I think we need to make some significant changes in gun legislation. I am in favor of universal background checks on every gun sale. I am in favor of going back to an assault-type weapons ban. We've had that in the past, and these types of shootings went down when that was intact and in effect. Bump stocks, of course, need to be banned.
We also reached out to current District 31 Representative Mr. John Carter for an interview, but he wasn't available. Here's Judge Carter on the issue of gun control back in 2013.
Every time we have a tragedy, it seems that someone decides that the solution is to violate the Constitution and restrict the American citizens' right to keep and bear arms. Unfortunately, this is a constitutional right which we hold dear, and it's really, really unfortunate that people can't think beyond this one simple try to disarm America. It's the wrong policy.
We also received a written statement from the judge pertaining to this specific issue. If you'd like to read the statement, make sure to head on over to the Wolfpack's website to read the article posted over there. You can make your voices heard come November and vote for the candidate who aligned most with your views. 2 of our local representatives, Senator Ted Cruz and Representative John Carter, both Republicans, will be up for re-election. Carter faces off against Dr. Mann if she wins the Democratic runoff in May, and Cruz will face off against Beto O'Rourke. Now, over the course of the week, we've dove into the procedures of a lockdown, how to stay safe in the event of an active shooter, how to stay alert and pay attention to your mental health, and the political side of this controversial issue. It's been a lot to absorb, but we don't want you to live in confusion or fear, and neither does Principal John Sloan.
I hope you've learned a lot from the series that has been running on school safety. What I would like everybody to know is that you do not have to live in fear, and the important thing is that we're prepared and we know what to do in the case of an emergency. So having gone through some of the scenarios and different situations and lockdown drills and knowing what to do in those situations and why those situations might happen is really what the purpose of this series has been, and to be informed. So again, we are here for your safety, and we'll do everything we can to make sure our school is a safe place, continues to be a safe place, and go T-Wolves.
We hope you've learned a lot about how to stay safe during school. If you missed any of these stories or want to see them again, you can read them on the Wolfpack's website. And as always, if you have any questions about the material we covered, don't hesitate to ask your teacher, Officer Rodriguez, or Mr. Rogers. With CPHS News, I'm Noah Torr. Hey guys, Noah Torr here. If you enjoyed that video, make sure to smash that like button. And if you enjoy our content and love all things CPHS, make sure to subscribe. Remember, to make it a great day or not, the choice is yours.